Recorded Books and RB Digital present.
I'm your emotional support animal, navigating our all-woke, no-joke culture. Written by Adam Carolla, and I read it too. Preface. No apologies. This preface is going to be about not having prefaces. It drives me nuts that in our new all-woke culture, everyone is scared shitless of the left and feels like they need to preface any comment that could possibly offend with, I work with many Hispanics. I have Latino heritage if you go back 3 generations, before they go on to talk about the chaos at the border. Or, I have daughters. I'm a married man, before they speak on gender-related issues. It shows just how fucking petrified of the Twitter mob every public figure is nowadays. The fact that they've talked good people who have never harmed anyone into giving preemptive apologies to nut jobs is outrageous. Consequently, I'm starting with a warning. I'm not going to apologize for anything in this book. I'm not going to qualify anything in this book. If you don't like something in this book, you can kiss my hairy ass. I'm like a country that lets the world know it doesn't negotiate with terrorists who take hostages. Guess what happens? Less hostages get taken. So I'm making a mark now. No fucking apologies. As the great Dr. Jordan Peterson said on my podcast, you can't apologize to a mob. This is all about the progressive movement. Think about those 2 words, progressive, movement. It means it's never going to stop. It starts by moving toward a real problem, but when they run out of real problems, they still need to keep progressing, keep moving, and that's where we're at now. Dig this comparison. Smoking. People used to be able to go into a restaurant and smoke. They would be lighting up at the table with impunity. They'd order up a steak with a side of Winston's. They'd be blowing smoke onto their entree and into their kids' faces, and no one could say shit. Then some ancestor to today's progressive woke assholes said, hey, you can't smoke wherever in the restaurant. Let's make a smoking section just for you. The smokers got their cigarettes and their ashtrays and their steaks and martinis and went off to the smoking section. Then the woke douchebags showed up in the smoking section and said, hey, we can't have you smoking in the restaurant. I know there's a smoking section, but the smoke is wafting over into the main dining room. Why don't you just smoke at the bar? And all the smokers said, yeah, okay, and moved to the bar. Then the PC pussy said, I know I said you could smoke at the bar, but I changed my mind. You have to go outside. And the smokers put on their jackets and went out to the patio. Then the progressive prick said, you've got to get off the property altogether. Go outside. Go out the front door, smoke on the sidewalk. And all the smokers moved out to the sidewalk. Then Captain Cocksucker said, you're too close to the front door. You're not outside enough. Go down the street. Go to the park. Except now there's no smoking at the park. So all the smokers said, fuck it, we'll vape. And the self-appointed societal hall monitor said, okay. But we're going to make that shit illegal, too. The question is, do they hate cigarette smoke, or do they love telling you what to do? I think you know the answer to this one. I'm not a gun guy, but I'll tell you who's figured this shit out. The NRA. The woke douche from the progressive movement said, hey, man, do you really need a grenade launcher on your M16? And the NRA guy said, how the fuck else am I going to light my cigarette? They laid down a hard line. Charlton Heston declared you'd only get his gun from his cold, dead hands. I hope Chuck was buried with a rifle so we can test this theory. By the way, from my cold, dead hands is also my stance on masturbation. The point is, smokers gave an inch and eventually lost a Marlboro mile. It's the same with feeding the apology monster on social media. If you don't give them immediate gratification, they move on. These are the kids who got everything they wanted. They're a bunch of grown-up Veruca salts demanding an Oompa Loompa now. If you just wait them out, they'll move on to their next target. What they want is for you to make them feel like heroes for forcing you to apologize. It's a power trip. If they try to wring you like a bar rag to get tears out of you and come up dry, they move on. Never apologize. I'm not a resident of MAGA country, but I got to give the devil his due. This is one thing Trump has gotten right, unlike firing me from Celebrity Apprentice. More on that and the Trump effect on our culture in Chapter 2. Notice that no one ever asked Trump for an apology. They call him Hitler or call for impeachment, but they never call for an apology because they know they'll never get it. When Dr. Drew's kids were young, he brought them by my place for a little carpentry help from the Ace Man on their Pinewood Derby cars. I busted out the oscillating spindle sander and went to work. After a couple hours, it was time to leave. At the end of the driveway, Drew said to the boys, "Now thank Mr. Carolla for his time." One of his 8-year-old triplets said, "We already thanked him in the garage." Drew said, "Well, thank him again." The kid argued back, and eventually it escalated to Drew using the stern dad voice. "Thank him! Now!" I said, "Hey, Drew, you know what's ruining this moment? You shouting at your kids demanding they thank me." The spirit of the moment was gone. It's the same with forced apologies. The force defeats the purpose. You can't demand someone do something that they should do spontaneously. We've all seen the athletes, politicians, and celebrities who get caught doing something stupid like cheating on their wives. First off, why do I need an apology? Apologize to your old lady and move on. Frankly, I was kind of rooting for you and your cock. I'd be disappointed if the Lamar Odoms of the world weren't out banging around. Whenever this happens, the first reaction is always the real reaction. They seem confused and defensive. Then some publicist or manager gets a hold of them and scripts a lame non-apology for them to deliver at a press conference in a tone that seems like they just got a dose of methadone, because that's what publicists get paid to do. No publicist has the balls to instruct their client to drop their pants and tell everyone to suck their dick. Instead, they craft a mea culpa for the client full of platitudes about how they've grown from this teachable moment and how they're...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.